My internet's slow. There we go. All right. Welcome to day three of the Economy Creators Challenge. Um, this day is about self-image, which is phenomenal. Self-image is really the thing that gets us to the next level. Understanding why we are where we are, right? Yesterday we identified why we're kind of stuck or why we're getting the results that we're getting. And self-image is a huge component as to how we move forward to live the life that we want to live and have the things that we want to have and have the economy that we want to have swirling around us. So, self-image is so important and it sets the boundaries for individual accomplishment, individual achievement. It puts a ceiling on us when we don't need one. We don't need a ceiling. There is no ceiling, but we put one there. And it's our job to blast through that thing and and make it a ceilingless thing. Because we are infinite. We have infinite potential. We are infinite beings, and we have all the resources available to us now. The solutions to all our problems are right here, right now. There couldn't be a problem if there wasn't a solution. There couldn't be a question if there wasn't an answer, right? So we have to understand those things. And our self-image either allows us to understand those things or our self-image holds us back. So we're really going to talk about self-image today. But before we do, I would love to know, yesterday we talked about the paradigms that are holding us back, and we talked about successes that help us remember that, darn it, we are good. We can do something. We can do stuff, right? And um, I shared about riding my bike. My brother taught me how to ride my bike, and that was a big deal. And it was so exciting. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I did it, right? And we can keep doing that in our lives. So, what helps us is to remember, use our memory for good things. Remember those times when we exceeded our expectations and got really excited and we're just like, oh my gosh, I learned this in one day. Can you imagine? Can you believe that? And Dorothy shared with us something where she was just doing something she loved, creating something, and somebody noticed and then gave her an opportunity as a result. And so the other thing is, it's the lesson to learn is when we do what we love, we attract more opportunities and reasons to do what we love. And we earn stuff from that. And that's really what today is all about, is the law of compensation. And we're creating an economy which generally means earning more money, but it also means balance in our life and having the things that recharge us and allow us to do the things that earns us money. So we want balance. We want the best life. There's a reason why I sign my emails to your best life. I really mean it. I want people to live their best lives. I want to live mine. I don't know about you, but I want to live my best life. And that involves horses and they don't bring in money. They cost money, but they're a part of my economy because they keep me going, right? Do you see how that is? So this is a U-shaped economy. It's all about you. So I want you to write in the chat something that you love that you want to keep in your economy that might not, or it might earn money. So what is something that you love that you want to keep in your economy or bring into your economy? Put it in the chat for me because this is going to be important. Hmm. Horses is mine. My family, they're important. Venue decoration, Dorothy, good. Ooh, I like that. Continue to grow cactus in my garden. Ah, I like it. What kind of cactus do you grow? All of them?
Every cactus you can think of.
Oh, that's a lot of them.
That's a lot of succulents too.
Cool. Cool. Is it kind of your Zen garden?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I live in a
That's
place where the climate is very hot, so that's all I can grow. I try to grow
ah.
anything else, it won't survive. But
What part of
cactuses,
California do you live in?
Lake Elsinore. It's
Ah.
Riverside County.
Oh, Riverside. Uh-huh. Cool.
So it gets really hot in the summer.
Mm-hmm.
So the cactuses are.
Perfect. Yeah, just like Tucson. We got a lot of those guys here too.
You're in
Let's
Tucson, Mary?
see. Yep, Tucson.
Oh,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
nice.
Pat, my dressmaking business makes me and others feel good. Yay, I love that. Sharing money, new clothes, speaking on stage. Good. Prayer and call is did you are you do you prayer call or prayer call? Is that your calling? What does that mean, Robin? I don't know what prayer call slash means.
It's
Or
it,
having
it's a
prayer calls.
yeah, it's a prayer call that I'm involved in every
Ah,
morning.
I
Right.
see. And
Yeah.
so tell us what people do on that.
Well, we're really praying for our nation. And so well, more women, but it's men and women throughout the US, some in Canada. We're praying for the leaders, praying for, for just making nations better to sort of come back to God, to
Mhm.
find, I just say, sort of come back to God. So
Bring
it's
this,
good.
come back to their center, huh?
Right,
Hmm.
to their
Yeah.
center. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. Ryan making music. Good, good. Sarah creating content. Any type of content or a specific type of content? What?
Um, yeah, I like to write and creating content for the person, for the woman that I speak to. I love that.
Hmm. I like it. I like it. A new wardrobe. Ooh. Get the new digs on, huh? LA. I like that. You and Sharon can go shopping together because you both want new clothes. I like it. Sharon, what do you want to speak on stage, speak about on stage? Oh, are you muted? Hmm. Oh, we can't hear you. We could hear you earlier. Oh, bummer. Okay. You can type it in the chat though. Um, oh, Robin, Dorothy says, please remember to pray for Nigeria. Hmm. Yeah. We all can do that, I think. Um, so so when we're creating, and we're going to have this in our mind map tomorrow, but I want you to use this today too in our exercise today. But keep these things in mind that you love to do, that you want in your life, and don't forget when you're focused on making the money that you also love to do certain things and these things recharge you. They help you find your center. Sarah says she loves writing. Keep writing in your life. Keep doing that, right? The cactus garden, it's a meditative place, just like cold plunging, right? Yeah, yeah. So we have to keep these things in our minds. Okay, now the next thing I want you to do is write out in the chat something that you are good at. What is something that you are really good at? It's not bragging. Crochet, motivating people. It's just recognizing. Hmm. Cooking. I'm good at cooking too. I like cooking, but I don't cook meat. Let's see.
You don't cook meat because you don't eat meat, or you
That's
just don't
right.
cook meat.
No, I don't eat meat either.
That's good. That's good. Very good.
Pat, creating garments, alterations, listening to others to help them in their lives, inspiring others and encouraging. You're organized. I like it. I like it. Sharing affirmations on social media. Raphael, I saw your video yesterday. That was good. That was good. So, great listener, good LA. Keep these things in mind because what you're good at, you want to keep in your economy also because when you're good at something, you want to keep doing it. And when you keep doing something, you get better at it. And when you get better at it, you love it more. And then you share it more. And you get better at it more. And more people go, oh, you're so good at that. Because you were gifted with that, right? Which is something that we have to remember that we've been given some gifts. And many times when we're trying to, in this whole self-image thing, we focus on where we're falling short. But I want you to focus on where you excel. Focus on your strengths and build on your strengths. So yesterday we ended with successes, right? Ride my bike, I rode my bike, right? Or whatever it is that your success was. And now we just wrote a bunch of things that we're good at. What are you really good at? And it's important to remember this. In this self-image portion, in past self-image scripting workshops, I do something a little bit different where we have our goal and we create an image around what it looks like to have achieved it, right? And yes, that is vitally important to create an image of what it looks like when you reach your goal. Absolutely 100% for sure. We have to be able to convey that to infinite intelligence so that we can say, hey, universe, this is what I want. This is what I want. This is what I want. And then we get onto that vibration and then we attract it, right? We're talking about love and harmony inside of Magnet Mind this month. And that's all about the law of vibration. But if you don't know what you want and you don't have a clear image of it, you can't get on the vibration. So one of the things that I suggest you to do, and this is nowhere in this workbook, what I highly suggest you do is take the goal that you really wanted to focus on from the last couple of days, right? We said take a goal in the area of health, wealth, or happiness, and really focus on that. And I want you to just sit with it and explain to yourself what that looks like. Because when we say, oh, I just want more money, or I want a better house, or I want a nicer car, none of that is very exact. All of it is nebulous. And so keep asking yourself, what do I want in my car? What do I want in my house? What do I want in my whatever it is that you want? Right? What do I want in my bank account? And why? And what feeling does it evoke to have it a part of your day and your life and your economy? So the clearer you are, the better. And then when we're so clear, we can move into the self-image portion. This self-image portion talks a lot about, or pretty much primarily about, the law of compensation. And I'm going to share my screen here and share this. And I'll also put this in the chat here. This is the day 3. Day 3. And here comes Larry. Okay. So day 3, let me just go here again, is all about self-image. So you want to become the person who creates the economy you want. So tomorrow we're really going to get into mapping out what our economy is going to look like, but we have to be the person who attracts what we want. So it's the internal blueprint of who we are as a human being that determines what we see in our life. And it determines our actions, it determines our thoughts and our feelings, it determines our income, it determines the amount of confidence we have, it determines how consistent we are and how we show up. It determines what decisions we make. And of course, because of all of that, it determines the results that we get. Our self-image can either hold you back or allow you to soar. Okay. And hard work isn't going to get you there. It's about how you see yourself. So day one, we clarified what we wanted. Day two, we kind of saw, oh, that's what's holding me back. And we rewrote some paradigms, rewrote some beliefs that we had. So day three is this bridge day. And when you start stepping into the person who has the stuff that you want. So the day one, what you want, and there's a version of you that has it. And day three is all about revealing what that version is. It's creating alignment with that version. It's not faking it. It's saying, okay, now if I really want that, and imagine that I have it, and you build this image, use your imagination and think what it looks like when you have that. When I have my 4 horses and my beautiful green grass and the barn and all that business, when I have that, who is the version of me that has that? What did she do? And when I first started out in this whole thing, I was like, well, she took a horseback riding lesson. That's how I started. That's how I started. I took a lesson, right? So that version of you does some things now to get to that point, right? You can't have a whole cactus garden if you don't go to this place and buy some cactus to plant or find some cactus to put in there or draw it out or make a blueprint of what it is that you want it to look like. Maybe you want a maze, I don't know. But you have to create this image of what it is that you want, and that's what we're doing. So not only in day one did we create this image of what we want to have, now we're creating the image of the person who has what we want. Okay. So this is about aligning ourselves with that version. That version of us is different. They see things in a different way. They react or respond to things in their outside world in a different way. They are in charge of their emotions. They know who they are spiritually. So one of the things that we really have to do is get a grasp of what we want and then figure out who has that. It's you. It's just a different version of you. So this is a short-term self-image script that I share with my mastery students that they start when they start thinking into results in lesson 1. And this is important because it involves the law of compensation, which is an offshoot of the law of cause and effect. The law of cause and effect, or the law of compensation says that the amount of money you earn is in direct portion to the need for what you do, your ability to do it, and the difficulty there is in replacing you. But I want to take it a step further here and say the need for what you do, by whose standards? By whose beliefs? It doesn't matter if I think that the need for what you do is important. It matters that you believe that there's a need for what you do. You must believe it for you. You must believe that what you offer the world is important. You must believe that you are the person to do it. That whatever you are offering in some sort of way or service or relationship or whatever it is, that what you do is important. Does that make sense? Does anybody have any questions about that? The difference between it doesn't matter what I think, it matters what you think. If you do have questions, just say it out loud because I can't see everybody.
I think if you're waiting for everybody else's approval, you're never really truly believing in yourself.
Oh, go farther with that, Pat.
But as we're growing up, we've got parents, we've got teachers, friends, relatives that all, we worry about what they think. But when we become an adult, we still care about what they think. But what they think doesn't control us. We do.
Mm-hmm.
It's like where they left off and we took over.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
different ages for different people.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm probably more ornery now than I was when I was 18.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
I was very shy.
Mm. I was shy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that doesn't make you ornery now.
No, I'm just kidding.
But I agree with you. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. It matters what you think. And that is part of listening to that authentic desire that's within you, right? And recognizing what you love, what you want, what you're good at. And we'll talk more about all of that tomorrow, but the need for what you do has no bearing on other people's opinion of what you do.
If you really believe in yourself, you believe in what you're doing, you don't have to have anybody else's permission.
Yeah.
You just put your heart and soul into it, you go after it.
Yeah. I love it. Well, and it's so true. Just think about it. There are billions of different things that people do. And if, there are so many things that you can just mention that you're like, "So really? Somebody does that?" But it's true. And there is a need for it. They believe that they can deliver on that need. And that's important.
Yeah.
There's a reason why they're doing it. So don't discount that. So the first step is to say why what you're doing is important. Why do I need to do this? Why do I want to do this? Why is it important to the world that I do this? And then the second part is your ability to do it. Now, here's the thing. There's only one person that can do what you do in the way that you do it. And I talk about this in the next piece. But your ability to do it, if you love what you do, you're going to get better and better and better and better and better and better and better at it. So make sure that you're not forcing something because somebody else thinks that you should do it. Right? Number 1 and 2 kind of go hand in hand. You're going to get better at what you love. Most kids in school, okay, so here, let's use a school as an example. I was way better at the English language than I was at mathematics. Let's just say that, right? And lo and behold, even though I got all A's and everything, I still enjoyed English literature so much better than I did doing a math problem. And guess what? I got better and better and better at writing. And as I got better at writing, I started writing books. And then as I started writing books, I became a publisher. And all of these things started snowballing. Now, take my husband, for example. He's like, I can't spell. What are you talking about? Spelling? No, but he's an engineer, right? And so he's a chemical engineer and he thinks like that. And he thinks in calculus. I don't even know. I never even took calculus, right? But that's how, and he's incredible with that type of thing. So no one would say, "Hey, Mark, you should write a book or you should be a publisher." No, he gets better at doing math things, solving problems, using calculus. He gets better at those because one, he likes doing it. It's his natural inclination. And when we're good at something, we naturally want to get better at it and practice it. And then we get better at it. But the other part of it is that you have to believe that you are the best version of you doing what you do. It's not that you're better than anybody else, but you right now are the best one delivering what you're delivering right now. How can you be the best, your best right now? Bob used to say something. He says, be a real pro is at their best regardless. It's not I'm better than anybody else. I'm my best. So I am the best at what I do. I am my best at what I do. And we have to believe that about ourselves. So when it's in something that you're delivering, like a product or a service, how can I best deliver this service? If it's in a relationship, how can I best be a partner in this relationship? Right? Does anybody have any questions or comments about that part? It's not about competition. It's about you seeing you as your best. Right? Okay. And then the last part is the difficulty there is in replacing you. You are unique. And you bring a certain flair, you bring a certain set of experiences, you bring a certain set of talents, you bring a certain set of skills, you bring a certain set of everything that involves the creation of you to what you're doing. No one can do what you do in the way that you do it. And you have to believe that about you. There could be, well, I'll compare consultants like me, Procter Gallagher consultants. We all do things differently. We all sell the same stuff. We all do the same thing, technically, but we all do it in a different way. Nobody does it the way I do it. And so we bring our unique flair to what we're doing. There's difficulty in replacing me because no one's doing it like I am. And so you have to believe that about yourself. Okay. And then, so you write out why what you're doing is important, why and how you show up as the best version of you doing it and delivering it, and then why you need to be the one to do it, right? And so then the next question becomes, who are you willing to become? So describe the thought habits and the physical habits that you need to develop and the character traits you need to hold in order to reach your goal. So, Sarah, I'm going to use you as an example because Sarah has a community of people around her. But in order to get a community of people, she needed to reach out to people. And at first she wasn't doing that, right, Sarah? And so you changed who you were in that way, right? So can you say, did you notice that you needed to make that shift, or how did you start deciding that, oh, I need to do something different here?
I love people. Let me just start with that.
Good girl.
Um, yeah, I mean, I really wanted to have this community. I really wanted to do something. I had a little vision. It wasn't anything big, but I needed to do things differently because what I was doing was not working. And so it was really hard for me to reach other people. I don't naturally gravitate towards people. And I wasn't putting myself out there. And I must say that it was after I started working the principles, and when I joined thinking into results, that I really started to show up more and to realize that something had to change, but I decided first of all that I wanted this. I wanted this community, this magazine, these things. And I everything just started really to fall into place. And so networking, getting into the right rooms, that just kind of started happening once I made that first decision, I suppose, to just build this thing that was coming like little steps, and I was just going with the flow.
Mhm.
I had a general idea of what I'd love to do, but never in a million years I would have thought that I would be where I am right now.
Woo! Yay. But that's what but the person who has the community had to do different things, right? Had to reach out, how to connect with people, had to network with people. And so
And
it's not
does
and does. Yeah.
and does and you know what? I It's incredible, but 3 months ago I was in networking rooms that I was just like, oh gosh, get me out of here. What am I doing? I don't really like people. Why do I insist? And I started deciding that no, we're doing this because something has got to happen. And right now, I'm in the right rooms. I'm talking to the right people. I get asked to speak all the time. I get messages from people saying, "Hey, that was wonderful. I love that. Can we get on a quick call? I'd love to talk to you." And it's just and I've just also decided to change my attitude, if I'm being honest, and just say, okay, this is what I want. And I started to see also little results from just a small change. And so that was like the catalyst for everything else.
Hmm. Yeah. I love that. Thank you for being put on the spot. But that's what I mean by figure out like who you want to be. What version of you has the thing that you want? And notice notice the traits that they exude, what they do. Not only what they wear, you can go as small as that, but as big as how they show up in the world, how they show up every day. What time do they wake up in the morning? All of those things that version does. Go ahead, Sarah.
Sorry, I just really want to say that you are one of my favorite leaders, and I love that what you always tell us is you lead by example, and that's what attracted me, and that's who I want to be to my own community. I want to lead by example, so I cannot, in good conscience, ask somebody to do something or to show up in a way that I'm not willing to do myself. And so that was a big, big thing. And that was like the first thing I wrote on my self-image script. Lead by example, like
Yeah.
Mary.
Oh, thank you, Sarah. Well, and it's true. It's true. If and I've always just felt that way. And with gymnasts, I used to be a gymnastics coach. That was part of my economy back in the day, and I never asked them to do something that I wouldn't have been willing to do as a gymnast, right? And I led th them through the way that I thought and that I taught and that I was trained. And so um I even said that, I even worked out, went running every day because I wanted to be the example. I wanted to show up and say, if they asked me, did you exercise today, Coach Mary? I would be like, yes, I did. I went for a run this morning, right? I wanted to be able, in good conscience, to deliver on what I was telling them to do. And it's really important. And I think that that's the perfect place to start, actually, Sarah. So thank you for saying that. So if you have a community that you're leading or that you want to lead or that you want to teach or that you maybe you're creating a book or you're making a course or you're making I don't know, a video or you're making whatever it is that you're creating, make sure that you also do that. So it's authentic, for one, and you're authentic and you're in harmony with the law of compensation and the law of cause and effect. Otherwise, it's just words. So then make sure that's the perfect place to start. So if you say, hey, this is what you need to do, and you're not doing it yourself, then start there with those types of habits. Right? Maybe you're a beautician and you don't do all the things that you tell your clients to do. Well, start. Start doing all the things that you tell your clients to do. Maybe you don't use color conserve uh shampoo or something like that. Maybe start there, right? But whatever it is, start doing those things that you are asking other people to do. Go ahead, Pat. I'm going to stop sharing so we can see everybody.
I was going to say that right out of high school, I went to beauty school, and they said half of it was your ability to do it, but the other half is you had to look the part. I
Mm.
never leave the house without my makeup on and to be dressed that I'm not embarrassed people to see what I'm wearing. It just, it carries through also in like in my dressmaking. If you don't look neat, they're not going to believe that you have the ability to do it. So it's the same thing in our coaching. If we don't come across as sure of ourselves, they're going to think, huh, she ain't going to teach me nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's true. But and like in the idea of meditation or something like that, I mean, I tell people to meditate all the time. But what if I told people to meditate all the time and I didn't meditate?
Yeah.
Right? Hmm. So start there. Those ideas of that version of me does everything that I tell everybody to do, or at least has tried it, right? And has learned through it and has figured it out. I mean, I tried every type of meditation to see what worked for me. And which is good because now I can share what may or may not work for people. I have a way more of an opportunity to say, well, you could try this, or you could try that, or you could try this, or you could try that, right? Just because it didn't work for me doesn't mean it's not going to work for somebody else. Does anybody have any other comments before I share my screen one more time about that? Okay. This one. All right. So remember your need for what you do, your ability to do it, and the difficulty there is in replacing you, and who you're willing to become. So that version of you that has that goal, that has that dollar amount, or has that relationship, or has the business, or has written the book. So I'll use a book as an example because I've written a lot of them. If you are someone who wants to write a book and you're not writing, then you're not being that version of you who's written the book, right? So you start with an outline. You start with an idea and then you just keep going forward and forward and forward. But you have to start. The version of you that has the stuff that you want started at the beginning, first and foremost. So describe those things that they did. And then when you finish it up, type it up, print it out, make it less than a page. Mine's like a long paragraph, and keep it with you throughout the day. You can do some of these things, you can do one of these things, but these are just ideas that I've done, by the way. You can handwrite it every morning. And what that does is handwriting. Writing induces thinking. Thinking brings images. Images attract more ideas. And so when you're writing it out, you'll attract ways and means of doing it, of making it happen. New ideas, new opportunities, and you're like, oh, I never even thought of that before. It'll happen. It doesn't happen necessarily on day one, but when you start doing it every day, you'll get to this point, a tipping point, when it starts flowing in. Another thing is that you could do is visualize it twice a day, 5 minutes each. Just visualize what it looks like to be that version, right? Bob says he used to, while he was driving in the car, see himself on the stage in front of a huge audience, knowing exactly what to say, delivering his message. They were like, yes. And he saw them eager and happy and applauding. And so you can start visualizing it like that. Read it every 2 hours. And this comes from the idea, Napoleon Hill says, when at the beginning, when an idea first, excuse me, when an idea first shows up, that's the time to nurture it and coax it and really feed it. So think of it as a newborn baby. What do you do with a newborn baby? You feed it every 2 hours. And it's exhausting sometimes, but you need to, don't you? So read it every 2 hours and get it into your subconscious. Because repetition is what causes it to be buried into your subconscious mind. Handwriting it, visualizing it, reading it. You can record it and listen to it every 2 hours. Your voice is the voice that your subconscious mind believes the most. So if you speak it and record it and listen to it, you are feeding that subconscious mind what it needs to begin believing that this is who you are, this is how you act, this is yours. And then you could also print multiple copies, keep them in different places throughout your house. You could have one up here, you could have one down on your desk down there, you could have one at your favorite chair, you could have one by your bed, whatever it is. And then there's space to write out your script. So I stop sharing. But I want to talk a little bit about repetition, because repetition, as I said, is the mother of learning. But repetition is also what causes us to begin believing something new. So what you currently see, what you currently believe about yourself is a product of repetition already. Most things. Some things were an emotional impact, but most things are a product of repetition. Whether it was your parents repeating it to you, your coaches, your teachers, you in your mind experiences, saying things over and over and over again to yourself. Then you began to believe it. A belief is a thought that we repeat to ourselves. It's really what it comes down to. You can choose to believe a different thought. You can say, when that belief comes up, oh, no, I don't believe you anymore. I believe this instead. And you can use that as a reframe. You can remind yourself going, oh, when you when you thought, oh, you can't do that, Mary. Like, no, I don't believe that anymore. I don't believe that anymore. I can do anything. If they can do it, so can I. Right? So you catch yourself and you flip it. So beliefs are just thoughts that you keep thinking. So what happens when you have a script like this is that you are scripting what to think. So instead of doing the dishes and letting your mind wander all over and going, oh, I wonder what happened there. And I wonder that is just all surface thought that's not doing you any good. But if you're doing the dishes, start listening to your self-image script. Guess what? You're feeding your mind what it needs to in order to become the version of you that has the stuff you want. When you repeat, repetition creates, what did I say in the last call? Repetition changes every cell in your body. Because what happens is that your subconscious mind is in every cell of your body. And in the repetition, you are accessing your subconscious mind. So you're actually changing the cellular structure and you are creating new neural pathways to believe different things about yourself. So that is why all this repetition is so important. You might not believe it at the beginning. You might think, Mary, this is ridiculous. Who am I to have that? Those are just beliefs that you've been thinking for a long, long time. We just need to change them. You can change any belief, and you can change it in an instant if you want to, if you decide to. Nope, I don't believe that anymore. Mm-mm. Nope, I don't believe that anymore. I'm not buying that. Nope. Mm-mm. I believe this instead, right? I used to be shy. Pat, you probably can have a similar story. I used to be shy, and then I decided, you know what? I'm going to be like my niece Lisa, and she is not shy. She is outgoing, and she's funny, and I like being around her, and I want people to like being around me too. And so I'm going to be like Lisa. So in the next situation, I got to be like Lisa, and I trained myself that way. Pat, how did you train yourself not to be shy?
Well, when I went to beauty school, it's something that I had wanted to do for 4 years. And I know my mother said when it come graduation time, what did I want to do? And I said, I still wanted to go to beauty school. And she said, well, I figured if you're going to change your mind, you would be within those 4 years. I never wavered. But when I went to beauty school and I was at the top of the class, that's where my self-confidence started
Mm.
because it was something I enjoyed. It was something I knew I was good at. And from there on, it just took off.
Yeah, and you have to talk to your clients, right?
There's many times, so first I got homesick. There was first time I went, many times I had my hand on that phone to call dad to say, come and get me. And I thought I knew what he would say. You made your bed, lay in it. Never made the call. And I'm glad I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad I didn't because that meant I would have failed.
Yeah, because you quit, right?
Yeah.
There's only one way to quit or one way to fail, and that's to quit.
Yeah. We
Right?
started out with 12 girls. We ended up with 5.
Yeah. It's like that classic look to your right and look to your left. One of you's not going to be here, or two of you, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Not going to be here at the end. Yeah. Yeah. So you wanted to be a beautician, and so you did the things that needed to be done.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. As a gymnast, I wanted to be a high level gymnast. I wanted to have a scholarship to the University of Arizona, and I needed to kick my butt into gear. I needed to be a certain caliber of gymnast for them to even consider thinking about bringing me on the team, right? And so I had to I had to do a lot of scary things that I wouldn't have chosen to do on their own, but because they were a part of this larger goal, I did. I accepted them. And I said, no, I have to do that because I'm her. And that's one of the things that how we can get over ourselves sometimes is that, no, you wouldn't necessarily choose to do all these things that have to be done on their own. But because they're a part of a larger thing, it makes sense, right? Go ahead, Pat.
Well, I was going to say that then once I finished beauty school and I was at the top of my class and trying to go out and get a job. And I went to several different places and applied. You don't have experience. And this one place I really wanted to work at, she said, but you have no experience. I said, how am I going to get experience if nobody hires me?
Mm-hmm.
Try me for a couple months. If I don't work out, that's fine. Let me go.
Yeah.
I had to be bold enough to even make that statement, or
Yeah.
it would have been very easy to say, well, I guess I'm just not good enough.
Yeah. I'm not cut out for this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. See, the universe is telling me that I'm not good enough or whatever it is. The universe will never tell you that you're less than.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. It'll always give you opportunities to show that you can shine. But you have to do what Pat did and say, I can do this. Just let me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. That's good. Does anybody have any questions about your statement or this self-image scripting work that we're doing or comments as we finish up today? LA, do you have something you want to say? You're
Yeah,
reaching for the mute button, I can tell.
you know me. Um, I one thing I like, well, one of the many things I like about being with you and the crew is that community is, I've been through this a dozen times with you and the main group, and each time I go through it, even this part, the economy creators, this is like my third version of it. I think going through it, each time I gain something more. And I get like a light bulb goes off in my head. I get a better understanding, and that really excites me, and that's what I need, and that's why I don't mind doing the repetition of it. I'll keep coming back and forth, and then listen to the people like Sarah. She's a good inspiration. Robin, everybody in there, and Pat, she just turning it on tonight for me. I just did think. I said I felt like she knew what she was talking about. She was good at it. But now I'm really feeling her, and I'm glad she's here and she's speaking what she's speaking because she's speaking into me. Because I feel the same way that anything I want, I can get it if I really want it. It was like when I went to college and I joined my fraternity. I didn't know what you want to do because I didn't really know nothing about it. But what you seen in the movies, you know, like Animal House and all that kind of craziness. But when I found out what they was about and who they were and everything, well, I said, okay, well, I want to be in one. And me being black, I want to be the best one of our community. So that's the one I joined. And I tried, my Dean of Pleasures tried to discourage me, run me off and everything. We started with a group of 6, and we ended up with just 3 of us going over. And that was a real major accomplishment for me because I felt like that was something that I can use later on in life and give me them a way of doing things and building my character, and then I can use it when I get out there in the real world. And it's like you said, if you don't get the experience, you told the lady, right? Give me the experience, give me some time, and if I don't do good for you or you don't think I'm capable, then I move on. She probably gave it to you, and you probably stayed there as long as you want till you want to go somewhere else and went out on your own and whatnot.
I was with her for a couple of years at least.
Yeah, yeah. So that's good. So I just want to thank you, everybody, but I want to thank you what you speaking today.
Oh,
It really helps and whatnot.
you got it too, though, Ellie. You got it.
Yeah. I know I got it because I know what's wrong with me. I know why I know I haven't done it.
Yeah, but what's right with you? Concentrate on what's wrong with you. What's right with you?
That I've done enough studying. I just need to apply it. I've been doing the studying and training all my life. Like I say, you know how they talk about somebody having instant success once they start doing good, but they don't know what you've been through before that instant success, that success comes about and stuff like that. Yeah. So, and I was always honest about that when I talk to people, try to get them to join me in the opportunity or something like that. I said, well, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. You ain't done it yet. I said, yeah, that's because I hadn't found the right people to work with me. So I still got to find the people. So that's what I'm doing now.
How about I know the people are there and I'm attracting them to me now.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, LA. And Pat's right. You do have it. We all have it, which is so good to know. We all have it. We have it. We can all do it. It's so wonderful. I love it. Anybody else have anything to say? Any comments, questions from today as you write out your self-image script? And this doesn't have to be, my regular script is like 12 pages. It doesn't have to be 12 pages. Let's make it a paragraph that
I
you
remember it wasn't that
with.
long ago when you were saying it was 7.
Yeah, that's right. You're right. That's true.
It does grow. I've got like several that I paste together, but this is always good for me too. And I'm glad LA spoke up about going through it over and over again. The repetition thing is so key, and then it becomes more second nature every day. And there's somebody in our community, and I don't know, Mary, if Art is still doing this, but he had offered to record or take your recording and put binaural beats to it so that when you listen to it, it's something, something happens with the way that he puts it together, puts the your voice and the music and the beats in the background that reinforces the effectiveness of the actual self-image script. But you don't have to be that fancy. For
I'm
me,
not.
I just record it on my phone and I have it saved and I have it where I can find it. And I press play easily and I put my earbuds in and I listen.
Hmm.
It's great to do when you're walking too, to do
Yep.
exactly that.
Yep. Yeah, doing tasks that well, walking with the repetition and the
Mhm.
cadence, yes, and then doing tasks like cooking or vacuuming or doing the laundry, folding
Yeah.
laundry, whatever it is, just things that where your mind would just automatically
All
go
the way.
wherever. We
Yeah.
want to rein in wherever, don't we? We want to put it somewhere. Hmm.
Yeah. I mean, it works either way, you know. For me, I like it's like you were just saying, it's usually when I'm making breakfast or on, if I'm on I don't usually get on a treadmill, but I may be doing some kind of exercise like walking or whatever, and I'm listening to it then, or driving maybe too. So
Hmm. Yep.
having that going on, the repetition is great, but the regular updates, it's a testament to Mary and how she's put this together is that there's no right or wrong way of doing it. It's just getting it out there and starting somewhere and then just adding on and adding on. And one thing that I look forward to is whenever I notice something that I have written down like a year ago and it's been in my self-image script and it's already happened.
Mm.
That's the fun part.
Yeah, I
That's
keep
really fun.
everything in there. Like, yay! Yeah, because you get a little celebration every time. I love it. Fun. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for joining me for day 3. And tomorrow we're going to map out our economy tomorrow. We're going to map out according to this person that you're writing about today. So, yay! I'm
Thanks,
excited.
Mary. Bye,
You're
everybody.
welcome. We'll see you later. Thank you for being here.